Mumbai now, because a dramatic day there too. MNS chief Raj Thackeray was detained briefly by the police. He was on his way to join party cadres in their anti-toll tax agitation. The Maharashtra Chief Minister Raj Thackeray now says the MNS is trying to politicize an issue in an election year, but also maintains he is open to talks to revising the toll tax system. Why are toll taxes on highways so controversial? Shawan Sen now reports.
High drama on the streets of Mumbai and Maharashtra as close to 500 MNS activists blocking highways were taken into custody.
This area is believed to be one of the strongholds of MNS.
Around 10:30, as the defiant Raj Thackeray made his way to the Vashi toll naka to join the agitation, the Mumbai police stopped his convoy in the eastern suburb of Chembur. Thackeray, along with supporters, were detained.
Minutes after Raj Thackeray was brought to RCF police station, crowds of his supporters gathered outside. As the situation threatened to go out of control, a phone call by the Chief Minister to the MNS chief led to the compromise.
Thackeray was then released.
The Chief Minister has called me for talks. Let's see how the matter is resolved.
Worried that Raj Thackeray had stolen a march over them on an issue that has some political traction in election season, others too have joined in.
हमने मिलकर सबसे पहले अनाउंस किया कि हम महाराष्ट्र को टोल से मुक्ति देंगे.
Ironically, it was the BJP Shiv Sena government in the mid-90s with Nitin Gadkari as PWD minister that brought in road privatization in a major way. Maharashtra was one of the first states to introduce the toll regime, but allegations of irregularities have been consistent. A PSC report last year spelled out how toll was collected beyond the recovery period, how money was siphoned off. A CAG report also highlighted the lack of transparency in awarding road contracts. Allegations of political nexus with contractors too have been persistent. The Chief Minister has already made it clear shutting down tolls is impractical. The government though could consider a regulatory authority for now to douse the political fire. With Shawan Sen and Shoaib Ahmed, Smita Nair.
Let's raise the next big question on India at 9. Is the toll tax system in India against the public interest? Joining me now, Shalini Thackeray. She is the spokesperson of the Maharashtra Navnirman Sena. She joins me from Mumbai. Jitendra Awad, the NCP leader and MLA, joins me. Virendra Maheshkar, CMD of IRB Infrastructure, which is perhaps the biggest when it comes to toll tax collection in the country. And Vishwambar Chaudhary, activist who's been leading a campaign against toll tax, also joining me. I want to come to you, Shalini Thackeray, because it was your party which has taken up this issue in a very strong, aggressive way. Was it necessary for you to actually go to the extent of telling people not to pay toll tax, even going to the extent of damaging and vandalizing some toll booths for this issue to be brought into the public domain? Was there no other way in which the MNS could have taken this issue up?
Namaskar, Rajdeep. Rajdeep, we've been fighting this issue for the last 2 years, and we have adopted various strategies. We have had 4 sittings with the Chief Minister, where he absolutely raised his hands in surrender, saying that it's not he cannot really do anything about it. After which we had no recourse except to go to the court, where we have been trying to fight it in the court, which again was a blank wall because we've just been getting dates and dates and dates. We had no other recourse except to bring it to the notice of the people and actually ask the people not to pay the toll till there is a transparency in the whole system.
If you ask people not to pay toll, but if you ask, Shalini, sorry,
the government
if
is
you
today
yes,
for the contractors, by the contractors and of the contractors, and there was no other recourse except to get down on the streets and bring it to the notice of the people.
But, you know, you're saying the government is of the contractors, by the contractors, for the contractors, but by asking people not to pay the toll tax, by vandalizing toll booths, was this not also anarchy? Arvind Kejriwal, when he goes on a dharna in Delhi, is accused of anarchy. The same allegation now could be made against the MNS, that you are creating a situation of confrontation where you're asking people virtually to not to pay any toll tax. As a result, isn't this also a recipe for anarchy?
We totally understand that the government has to function with certain taxations. We understand that toll is required for the maintenance and functioning of the infrastructure. But what we are protesting is the process in which the toll is collected and lack of transparency in the whole thing. Also the fact that there is no value for the money that the common man is paying as toll after paying the 13 taxes that he pays for the road in terms of road tax. He pays it for the entry tax. A lot of taxes. 14th is the toll which we pay, and after that we do not get our services, we do not get good roads, we do not get the kind of facilities that the contractors are supposed to give us, and the government is sleeping over it.
You know, you're making strong words. You know, I just want Jitendra Awad to respond to one statement, because you're in the government, Mr. Awad, that the Maharashtra government today, and maybe several other governments across this country, are accused of being by contractors, of contractors, for contractors. It's an allegation that is particularly made of the Maharashtra government, that you have created a system wherein a few handful of toll contractors are getting the benefits of charging very high rates compared to other parts of the country also, and that therefore the government needs to relook at this entire system. Do you agree that the Maharashtra government needs to relook at this entire system?
I do not see, every system has to be looked into. There is nothing wrong with it. The government should always analyze and look into all the affairs which doubts have been raised. But it is not a fact that Maharashtra is the only state where this toll taxation is done. You go to Rajasthan, you go to Madhya Pradesh, you go to Gujarat, you go to any part of this country, and all the good roads which are happening in this country are because of the privatization in the system, in the infrastructural, particularly the road projects. Now, what's wrong in it? Now, I don't understand.
No, Jitendra Awad, nothing is wrong. Jitendra Awad, nothing is, just a minute. Mr. Awad, just a minute. Nothing is wrong with having better roads. Nothing is wrong with getting better infrastructure. But something is wrong if under the guise of better roads, better infrastructure, you are going to allow the toll tax operators to get away without adequate transparency, without any form of accountability for the kind of tax which is charged. People don't come out on the streets unless they are genuinely angry.
Yes, I am in favor of transparency. I am in favor of transparency.
But you haven't done it.
My party is in favor of transparency.
You all are in power for 15 years, you haven't shown the transparency. 15 years you haven't shown transparency.
Yes, there is transparency. There is transparency. If you go to Bombay-Pune highway, Mumbai-Pune highway, you will find electronics boards telling you the number of vehicles passing, the toll tax collected, everything is on the board. Now, every common man, because 80% of the people don't have vehicles. Only 20% understand what is going on the highway, what is going on the toll tax nakas.
You know, can I just take that? Hold on. Mr. Awad, just a minute. Can I just take that? The point to Mr. Virendra Maheshkar, since IRB is one of the major toll tax operators in this country. Mr. Maheshkar, the allegation number one. Allegation number one is the process is not transparent. There is prolonged tax collection and overcharging of users. Your response to the first allegation?
Rajdeep, very good evening. I would say that this is a sector which is largely misunderstood. This sector today has one of the most robust mechanism to function, and as regards transparency is concerned, the transparency is required at two levels. First is at the bidding stage, and I am happy to say that today NHAI or even the state PWD bids out contracts on an e-platform, where one doesn't know who else is on the other side bidding for the contracts. The bidding structure is very transparent. The developer is given the scope of work that he is supposed to construct. He is given the specifications for maintenance. The tariff policy is also very, very transparent, where one knows what kind of tariff he is supposed to collect over the life of the concession. Now, netting off the... let me complete. And then on the required concession period, the developer is required to do his analysis as to what the growth rate would be, what kind of traffic ramp up can happen, and what kind of returns he can get. And then he has to offer a premium to the government, or if the traffic is less, he has to seek a viability gap from the government. and the concessionaire offering the highest premium or asking the lowest grant is awarded the project. This is the transparency process as far as the bidding is concerned.
No, but
then
Mr.
when we
Maheshkar,
come to the operation phase,
Mr. Maheshkar,
yes.
hold on. Mr. Maheshkar, hold on. The part of the problem
Yes.
is that once the contracts are given, the allegation which has been made in the past has been that many of those who get these contracts are simply fronts for politicians. That's one allegation. The second allegation is that there has to be a minimum distance as per the rules of the National Highway Authority of India, a minimum distance of 80 kilometers between toll booths. In some places in Maharashtra, this is 30 kilometers. Therefore, the contractor in connivance with the government subverts the rules and gets windfall profits. Respond to that. That are you effectively then acting as fronts for politicians? Are the rules being changed from 80 kilometers to 30 kilometers to benefit toll operators?
First of all, I don't see there is any connivance with the politicians at all, because this process of the bidding itself stipulates as to where the toll plaza for a particular project would be. It is not left for the concessionaire to decide where he wants to levy the toll plaza or lay the toll plaza. It is all known upfront when the project is tendered. And as regards the distance between the two toll plaza is concerned, that's for a state or NHAI to decide on the policy for it.
No, but Maharashtra has reduced it from 80 to 30. From 80 kilometers, if I have to start paying toll at every 30 kilometers, then naturally I will feel a sense that I will feel aggrieved. Do you concede that? That maybe these rules need to be looked at? That the Maharashtra government cannot unilaterally change the rules in this manner?
I agree to a certain extent that there is scope for increasing the distance between two toll plazas, but I deny the allegation that it is for the developer to decide as to where he is supposed to have his toll plaza. It is not the jurisdiction of the developer to decide where he is going to have his toll plaza.
Okay. Can I quickly get in Vishwambar Chaudhary before I come back to Shalini? Vishwambar Chaudhary, you want to respond to that? Because the allegation that you and others have made that many of the operators are actually fronts for politicians, Mr. Maheshkar denies that. He also claimed that the process of bidding and auctioning is transparent.
No, Rajdeep, he is saying half-truth. It is true that bidding process is very transparent, but the real game starts after the bidding. The best example is IRB company. Mr. Maheshkar owns that company, and that Kolhapur toll plaza is the best example, where the contract was issued for 250 crores, and in the High Court they have on affidavit said that we have spent 525 crores. Now where from the gap comes? Who has authorized them to do that? I mean, pricing and all bidding at the bidding stage it is very fair, but then they take a misadvantage of that. And if you will see this toll plaza, particularly the Kolhapur one, 9 roads come where they have the toll plaza. That's a joint of 9 roads. People are paying for nothing. It's a dacoit. It's a theft and dacoit, nothing else. What Mr. Jitendra Awad was saying, I want to answer him. Anna had a meeting with CM, then CM was new at that time. That meeting was conducted on 30th November 2011, when CM was newly arrived, 3 months or 4 months or so. CM has told him that within 3 months I will do that transparent system. He's saying it is done at Mumbai-Pune Expressway. Where is it elsewhere in Maharashtra? It is not there in place.
So you're saying that the promises which have been made about the system being transparent, but let Virendra Maheshkar respond to that before I go to Shalini of the other point you made, that there is a cost escalation. You charge, when you get the auction, you promise that you will charge toll at a particular rate. As time goes on, you escalate it at a rate which is which is only designed in a sense for you to make windfall profits. I use the word windfall at the cost of the consumer.
Yes. Can I respond?
Yes.
Okay. I think again it is largely misunderstood concept. First, going to Kolhapur, what is being said that the cost of 220 crores has gone up to 500 crores. No one has bothered to look into the breakup of that cost. The project involved constructing around 50 kilometers of roads within Kolhapur city. The cost put to tender was 220 crores.
Right.
Now, the tender itself stipulated that the developer would have a right to choose what kind of road he wants to lay. The developer had an option to do a concrete pavement instead of bitumen, and for this higher capex, there was no extra concession that was to be given to the developer. The concession period was to remain fixed of 30 years.
Right.
Now, for the same 30-year period, if while bidding for it, when we are allowed to design the pavement, if the life cycle cost gives a more economic design of doing a higher capex by way of concrete, then I think it is in the most big interest of the citizens of Kolhapur. Now, the breakup of the 500 crores is largely misunderstood. The 300, the tender was called in the year 2006-2007.
Yes.
The cost put up by MSRDC at that point was 220 crores. The project started in 2010-11. Just a second. Yes. 2010-2011. Even today, if I look at the breakup of the 500 crores, what we are saying, around 330 crores is the cost of construction. Rest is, there were payments stipulated in the contract to be paid as upfront to MSRDC, to Kolhapur Corporation. There was an interest element on the investment, which was debt taken from the banks.
Yes.
There were several other charges that were required to be paid, and all that together adds up to 500 crores. It is not that the construction cost has escalated.
This becomes post facto. The fact is this happens later. You know, the
But
process...
there is... No, please... it is important to understand that the capex of the project has nothing to do... It is not that because the cost of the project has gone up from 220 crores to 500 crores, my concession period goes up from 30 years to 60 years. Okay. No, it's not so.
Can I for a moment...
period remains same.
Okay, can I for a moment bring Mrs. Thackeray in again? You want to make a point on that? You're hearing the argument which is now being made by the state's leading toll operator, one of the country's leading toll operators. Are you all guilty of playing politics now when you call for a complete elimination of the toll tax system?
Mr. Maiskar has painted a very rosy and ideological picture in front of us, which is not followed at all. Today, I have certain questions for the government in tandem with the... Today, I have certain questions for the government in tandem with the contractors as to the NHAI says that the toll booth distance has to be 80 kilometers. How does it get revised by the PWD and the MSRDC? Suddenly everything changes. So who allows these changes? How does it happen by the government and the contractors? Secondly, if we are not at all addressing the problem of overpricing, the cost is escalated. You take the number of cars, you take the number of years, you calculate the proportions, and you will understand that these contractors, when they get contracts for 15 years, they have already recovered their money in the first 5 years. And we have data to support this, which we have brought up again and again, and nobody wants to address these issues. After having paid the money, where is our service? Where are the toilets? Where are the bus bases? Where are all the services that the